What's good, gang? I'm gonna show you how to make a crazy 2HOLLIS beat, like one of the beats in his new album called Star. The album was crazy, so I thought I'd just make a beat and break it down for you guys. Here's a quick little beat preview. Also, just letting y'all know, every single melody sound I use in this beat is from the Solitude pack by Hey It's Shark. He sent this one out to me so I can make this video, and it is insane, I can't lie. Go check him out. I'll pop his IG up somewhere on the screen. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it. So the first plug that I use is called iMix, and I literally just laid down a very simple descending melody. It's like a lot of 2HOLLIS beats. Just following that scale of B minor and using some half steps to create some more tension. And I literally just copied over this little pattern to fit the 2-bar loop. And I copied that 2-bar loop over again and pitched it up an octave. And I just copied all of this over and pitched it down 5 semitones. You can pitch little melodic patterns down 5 semitones when you're in minor scales, and it'll always sound good. Here's what that pluck sounds like just by itself. Next, I got this lead called RIP, and I literally just copied over the exact same melody. But for this lead, I just put on a lot of effects. I put on a portal. It's from this bank right here, Prod Gusty. Put on the shaper box. Here's the preset. I'm pretty sure it's just stock. Put on a gross beat. It's also a stock gross beat. And I also just put on an EQ to clean up the sound a little bit. Here's what this pluck sounds like just by itself. And here I actually opened up the lead RIP again, and I just laid down a different melodic pattern, just filling up 1 bar. And this little riff here isn't that crazy. It's really only 2 notes. It's just C sharp and C. It's just using that half step, create some tension and that dark feel. But all I did was just pitch it up and down an octave to add some more variation and make it sound cooler. And here I just put on a portal. I put on 2 gross beats. I put on a shaper box, EQ, and 1 more gross beat. And here's what this lead just sounds like by itself. Alright, next I've got this bass from the Serum Bank. It's called 1831. It's insane. You probably hear it in a lot of 2HOLLIS beats. I literally just followed the root notes to the scale, made a pretty basic bass line. Here's what that one sounds like. Next I got this Aliens bass from the Serum Bank. I just followed the root notes of the bass line, and I rooted it to a mixer track and just put shaper box on it. I just made this one myself. It's literally just a side chain, and here's what it sounds like. And for the last part of the melody, I just got this effects called Swamp. And I just followed through all the notes that I put down in that pluck melody, but extended them out to fit 2 bars. And I copied this 2 bars over and pitched it down an octave. And I copied all of this over again, and I pitched it up 7 semitones, which is also just pitched down 5 semitones and up an octave, which is what the rest of the melody follows. That's just what my thought process was behind making this. It isn't anything too crazy, it's just adding some more texture to the beat. Here's what it sounds like. And that is the full melody done. I'll now play that full melody for you guys so you can hear what it all sounds like together. To start off the drums, I just opened up a clap and lay down a pretty simple clap pattern. And then next I also just opened up a hi-hat and put it onto 2-step. Highlight all of them. Shift, click, drag 1 over, and then press Alt-X, and then just move the velocity of each second hi-hat down a little bit, and that was all I did. Next, I just got a sub 808, and I followed the root notes of the melody that we laid down earlier, and changed up the octaves to make it sound way better. Here's what the 808 sounds like by itself. And that was all the drums that I'm using for the section A part of the beat. It's just going to be like usual drums, hi-hat, clap. And then for the next part, I'm going to have like the house type drums. So I'll run you guys through those now. To start off these drums, I literally just put a kick on every single beat. I put a clap on every second beat, just to pair with that kick. And I also just put like a house open hat on every off beat. This just fills in the gap between each kick and each clap. It just makes it sound way more full. And the last part of the drums, I use this in both sections of the drums. It's just a hi-hat. Just put it on the first beat and just layered it over the 808s. Here's what section A of the drums sounds like just by itself. And here's what section B of the drums sound like just by themselves. Now that we're done all of the drums and the melody, we're ready to go on to arranging the beat. Alright, to start off arranging this beat, this all may look very weird, because it is weird, but all I did was just consolidate the first 4 bars of the melody, double click on it, and then change the range of the pitch to 12, add an automation clip like this, drag this one down. This literally just creates a slowed down intro that comes into the original tempo of the beat, and that's why it starts over here and it's not actually on time with the beat, because it doesn't follow the original tempo. That's why I just dragged it off from the very beginning of the beat, so that the rest of the beat would be on grid. Anyway, next all I did was just take out a lot of the melody, leave in 3 parts of the melody, and bring in those house drums, and I put on an automated filter. This is only like a 4-bar build-up section till we come into the main part of the beat. Here I added a riser and a crash to just transition into that, and in this 8-bar loop I used the section A drums. Here I added a lot more of the melody, so it sounded a lot more full when it came to that drop. And then the next 8-bar loop I brought back in the section B drums, and I literally just copied these 2 8-bar loops over to make the hook and then the verse section, and then I just copied over 2 parts of the melody to create a bridge here for 8 bars, and then finally I just copied all of this over again to create the second half of the beat. I really appreciate you guys for watching. This is kind of my first video back in a minute, but yeah, I'm gonna be posting weekly again, and yeah, leave some feedback in the comments, guys. Appreciate it.